Starting off at number 10. If I ate myself, would I double in size? Yeah, it's a good one to start us off with. You know what's kind of worrying about this? For these to appear as actual suggestions, a lot of people must have searched for it. People actually want to know if they would double in size if they ate themselves. Well, seeing as the survival rate for eating yourself is about 0%, I guess we will never know. Next up at number 9, who was the first person in the world to fart? Oh, I'm so mature. Yeah, it seems like as a species we are kind of interested in finding out who was the first person to live or die, but beating out both of those is a far greater question in life. Who was the first person in the world to fart? Google is the greatest source of information on the planet, and this is what we ask it. I don't think we deserve it. Okay, coming in at number 8. Why does my grandpa, first suggestion, turn me on? I wasn't sure if I should include this one in the video, but I promised you guys that these are the strangest of all time, so how can I possibly leave this one out? This person shouldn't be googling about why their grandpa turns them on. They should be googling their nearest therapist. Like, for real. Number 7. What do I do if a ginger bites me? Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down. Slow down there. I've got a red beard. I'm kind of ginger, in a way. We're not some sort of like rabid species of rats. I don't carry any diseases, okay? If I do bite you, you don't need to worry. I'm clean. Coming in at number 6, can I lick my cat? To be honest, you're kind of asking for a weird search suggestion, aren't you, when you Google can I lick? But still, even I'm surprised that there are a lot of people, apparently, out there who aren't happy with their cats licking them and them not being able to repay the favour. I think the answer is yes, you can, but please don't. At the number 5 spot, do midgets, and I don't even know where to start with this one, have night vision, get paid by the government, have knees, eat less, and give birth to midgets? There's a lot of debate between people about whether midget or little person is the correct term to use, but I think we can all agree that being a lot shorter than average does not give a person night vision, does it? This message was sponsored by the Totally Obvious. Next up at number 4, we have an emergency, guys. Help! I accidentally built a shelf. That's right, Google has been flooded with so many people who apparently accidentally built a shelf that it now presumes that that is what you've accidentally done as well. This ended up becoming a meme in its own right, hence the other searches below, and to be honest, so many people have probably searched this now to see if it's even real that it will always be there. Forever. Google will always think we have accidentally built a shelf. At the number 3 spot, don't you hate it when someone throws a walrus at your grandmother? Amazing, amazing stuff. Some people say there is too much hate in our world these days, that we need more love and understanding. But I think even if we all loved one another and there was peace on earth, I think we'd all still hate someone throwing a walrus at our grandmother. There's just some problems in the world we will never be able to solve. Next up at number 2, I accidentally killed my pet. But do you guys know what's more worrying than that one? I accidentally killed my baby. This is terrifying. How many parents out there are trying to find out what to do after they accidentally kill their own baby for it to become a popular suggestion? The answer is too many. Yeah. Apparently it's been asked only slightly more than people eating moldy bread. Hopefully it's not the same parents feeding moldy bread to their babies. That might explain it. And finally at number 1 we have the age-old question, why is my poop green? This is a more commonly asked question than the very common issues of slow internet and slow computers apparently. I mean, I run into those problems all the time, but I don't think I've ever had green poo. Am I the odd one out? Wait, does everyone else have green poo? I think I might have some questions for Google. Check out at number 10. Sometimes I like to lay down and pretend to be a carrot. Now, if this was just one person, then fine. Okay, we're all a bit weird in our own little way, sure. If one person out there wants to lay down and pretend to be a carrot, great. But for this to be a Google suggestion, it must mean not just 1 or 2 people, but quite a lot of people like to lay down and pretend to be a carrot. I have never had that urge, but I'm a little bit worried that you guys might do this, and maybe I'm the weirdo that doesn't pretend to be a carrot. What's wrong with me? Next up at number 9, my cat wants me to get an abortion. What? So so many questions. How do you know your cat wants you to get an abortion? Can cats like sense a baby is on the way and they get jealous or something? Listen, I know cats have a reputation for being a little bit cunning and devious.
Like a powerful dark storm, I will make my presence known to the world.
But I don't think they would demand a woman gets an abortion. They probably said they want a larger portion of cat food. Yeah, that's it. I hope. Please, I really hope that's it. At number 8, is it rude to fart when someone is crying? Okay, there are a lot of cultures in the world with different ideas of what rude is. But I think this is obviously rude across the board. It doesn't matter if you're in America, China, or an Amazonian tribe. You probably shouldn't fart when someone is crying their eyes out. I'm pretty worried about us as a species, to be honest. We need to all have a sit down and discuss why we are asking these questions. It's okay though, maybe the next one on our list will restore my faith. Number 7, why do I keep hitting myself with a hammer? Nah, we're screwed, aren't we? I had high hopes for us, you know. We were meant to be going to Mars soon. We were curing a lot of diseases. Things were going well for our species, but we just couldn't stop hitting ourselves with hammers. That's what alien historians will say about us, I think. The human race, rest in peace. They just couldn't stop hitting themselves with hammers. Alright, enough messing around now. Let's start asking the important questions in life. At number 6, what if one day you woke up and you were a chicken nugget? Okay. You know what? I'm not going to make fun of this one. Clearly, enough people out there wonder this, so join me now and seriously imagine with me waking up as a chicken nugget. I got eaten. Moving on to number 5. I hope you get sexually violated by a pterodactyl. This is one of the strangest and most disturbing things I've ever heard a human being hope for. Why a pterodactyl? They lived like 150 million years ago. Why? There's plenty of other animals alive today, and wait, yeah, I think the real issue is the sexual assault, isn't it? Let's try and focus on that. At number 4, do iPhones get heavier with more apps? On to number 3. What's that song that goes rap? Oh, what about that other one that goes or yeah, that one that goes la 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 la. I don't know what's going on. Google is clever, but I don't think it's this clever. Google can find a song from the 1920s with just one lyric. It can show you the entire life history of your favorite band. It can show you every best-selling rap artist of the past 30 years in order of album sales, but I don't think it can tell you what that song is that goes la la la. Actually, that's starting to sound a little bit familiar to me. Coming in at number 2, can a human impregnate a dog? Google was founded in 1998 by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Their vision statement was to provide access to the world's information in one click. Inspiring words there for an incredibly powerful tool. Do you know what we did with that tool? We took it and we asked it, can a human impregnate a dog? We let you down, Google. We really let you down. And finally now at number 1, who ate all the bee? What do you guys think comes next? That's right, it's the obvious answer of who ate all the bananas and took a dump in the hallway. It's a question that comes up quite a lot in everyone's lives. Wherever a hallway is built, mysterious people eat all the bananas and take a dump in that hallway. Architects have tried for hundreds of years to fix this problem, but it's always a dead end. For real, I am sorry for the sarcasm, guys. It's my coping mechanism to this strangeness that is the internet. Number 10. Are babies dishwasher safe? No. No, babies are not dishwasher safe. Some dishes aren't even dishwasher safe, so why would you think that babies were? It's very worrying that there are enough parents out there who have been tempted to throw their baby into the dishwasher to clean them, to the point where Google is now suggesting that as a common parenting question. I think the real question is, are babies parent washing safe? Doesn't even make sense. Next up at number 9, I forgot what I was going to Google. Yeah. I love this one. The fact that this exists means that when a lot of people are staring at the Google page, wondering why they open it up in the first place, they don't just close it and give up. No. They're here now, so why not use it to tell Google that they forgot what they were going to look for? And you know what? I never actually hit enter on this one. I never searched it. I really do wonder what Google will come back with. Coming in at number 8. Is there a spell to become a mermaid that actually works? Yes. This is a question I can get behind. I am sick to the back teeth of fake mermaid transformation spells that don't actually turn me into a mermaid. Yeah, finally, we're asking Google the right questions here. What I love about this one, guys, is that we humans would rather have a spell that turns us into a mermaid than one that gets us more money, makes us lose weight, or lets us turn back time. We really have our priorities straight. At the number 7 spot, is making out with a piece of meteor gay? What? It's not anything. It's a meteor. I don't think people should be worrying about whether or not it's gay. Just put the rock down. Meteors are often 4.5 billion years old and they travel hundreds of millions of kilometers to get to Earth, and when they find out what some of us want to do to them, I bet they feel like it's a bit of a wasted trip. Number 6 now. I don't hate you, I just wish your next period is in a shark tank. This insult is as creative as it is strange. I think wishing this on someone is like maybe one step down from really hating them. Next time someone says to you, "Do you hate me?" just tell them it's not hate, you just wish their period was in a shark tank. I'm sure they'll understand that. Bonus points if you're telling it to a guy, because you're gonna leave them hurt and very confused. Moving on to number 5 now. What's my parents' password? This is the sign of a desperate child. When I was a kid, I actually overheard my dad telling my mum our home computer password, so I was one of the lucky ones, I guess. Sorry mum, if you're watching this, but if that didn't happen to me, I would have been pretty desperate. I don't know how I would have snuck onto the computer to play games. But I don't think I would have been so desperate that I end up trying to Google what their password is. Actually, I totally would have if I thought that might work. Coming in at number 4, if you think about puberty, will it end later? Will you be taller and will you be short? Okay, puberty can be a confusing time. Your body is all over the place, nothing seems to make sense anymore. I get it, I've been there. But have things got this confusing for teenagers these days that they think thinking about puberty will make it end later, or make them taller, or make them shorter? I think parents have really failed if kids are turning to Google to find out these answers. I don't know, maybe Google is the best person now to talk to. I'm sure Google went through puberty too. Next up at number 3, sometimes I want to withdraw from humanity and live in a cave. Amazing. The problem is though, clearly a lot of people are searching for this on Google right now. So that means we might actually run out of caves for us. If you're watching this and you're planning on withdrawing from humanity to go and live in a cave, please book in advance to avoid disappointment. Okay? After Dumbest Tweets and now this series, I'm tempted to do the same. Moving on to number 2, there is a deer in my car. Yeah, listen. I've never lived way out in the country, only in towns or cities, so I don't really know how common this is for people who live near deers. Do any of you guys live near a lot of deers? They often get into cars. You see, before the internet, if a deer got into a person's car, I guess you just have to wait for them to leave. Now, thanks to Google, we can always be prepared for carjacking stags. And finally now, at number 1, my cat and I have decided to stay in tonight. Oh, Google is probably like, okay, thanks for telling me. I'm glad I know that now. Do people usually go out with their cats for the night? Before I started doing this series, I thought I knew people and I would have said, no, there's no way. But now, maybe people do go out with their cats. I also love how this one makes it sound like the cat had a say in whether or not they go out. Well, maybe cats know best, because I'm really starting to think humans certainly don't. Alright, starting off at number 10. My beard just grew a beard. Really? Did it? Are you sure your beard just didn't get longer? You know that if a beard grows, it's just a longer beard. The original beard hasn't got a beard of its own. This is something I never thought I'd be explaining in my whole life. Beards aren't like living creatures that just use men for transportation and then they just grow their own beards. Next up at number 8. My cat is pregnant and I think I'm the father. Some people say that the internet is obsessed with cats. Some people say that the internet is obsessed with sex. I think this proves that both of those are true. Now we can all laugh this one off and say, say, oh, internet, you so crazy. But think, somewhere out there, a guy is nervously waiting for his cat to finish a pregnancy test. And that makes me ashamed to be a human. Moving on to number 7, and we're asking, what if one day you turned into an almond? We've had quite a few ones like this so far, haven't we? I know people like to imagine these kind of things. A healthy imagination is great. But what is going on with the world when this many people are wondering what would happen if they woke up as specifically an almond? I don't know why people are searching for this. I don't know how to get them to stop. I don't know the answer to the question. I don't know anything. Maybe this is what it feels like to be an almond. Coming in at number 6 now. Can Jesus do a backflip? That's right. If you're a Christian, you might have wondered some of the other suggestions we can see right here. Can Jesus do anything? Or can Jesus do miracles? But right up there in popularity, a lot of people are asking Google if Jesus can do a backflip. Now, I've never personally read the Bible, but I'm pretty sure there's not a passage in there about Jesus doing backflips. I'm not 100% positive though. Next up at number 5, how come I'm dead? There's a question you never want to hear. There's one of two explanations for this. Either a lot of people are being very vague about dying in a video game, or a lot of dead people are using Google to find out why they are dead. If you guys have any better theories on that, then please tell me, please, because dead Googlers are probably the scariest kind of Googlers. Coming in at number 4, what would happen if I hired 2 private investigators to follow each other? Amazing. I love this one. If I made a list of the best Google autocompletes, this would also be on it. This image shows there was once a time on Google where people would search for the answers to big questions about what would happen if the Earth stopped spinning, if there was no moon, if the sun exploded, but they also wanted to know what would happen if 2 private investigators had to follow each other. Well, now I do too, actually, to be honest. That would be an incredible movie. Imagine, just a whole movie just that. Moving on to number 3 now. Pop-Tarts are not Kleenex. Yeah. Kleenex, the brand of tissues, you know them, right? Yeah? Well, news just in, they're not Pop-Tarts. I'm glad we could finally clear that up. What is going on here? More people are looking for confirmation that Pop-Tarts are not Kleenex than people wondering if Pop-Tarts are vegetarian. If we have any vegetarians watching this, make sure that when you next go out to eat, you ask them if anything on the menu is Kleenex. Let me know their reaction. Tell them I sent you. Don't really. On to our number 2. How does a blind person know when to stop wiping? Now, just because a question is strange doesn't mean it's not a great question. As soon as I saw this one, I realized I don't know the answer to that. Luckily, there's a great video by a guy called Tommy Edison on YouTube where he answers that very question. It's fascinating. I highly recommend you watch it. So yeah, making these strangest Google autocomplete videos can sometimes teach me something, like how blind people wipe their asses. I live a very strange life. And finally, we've reached the number 1 spot and we're asking, does New Zealand really exist? Well, I've not personally been there, but I know for a fact that some of our viewers are from New Zealand, so I'm going to put this question to them. Does New Zealand really exist? Like, really? Are you sure about that? I think people might be googling this because New Zealand is where they film a lot of movies like Lord of the Rings, so maybe people are wondering how that scenery can be so amazing and it's not like CGI. One day I would like to visit New Zealand and I would be pretty annoyed if I paid for a plane ticket and when I get there it wasn't even a real place. I'll kind of ruin the whole trip. Number 10. Can I eat my poop, sperm, cat? In that order, apparently. Hopefully that isn't a person who has been told no, they're not allowed to eat their poop or their sperm, and now they want to find out if they can eat their cat. I'm a little bit worried that the list just kind of ends there. Did they eat their cat? Why are there always questions about cats in these videos? Moving on to number 9 now, and we're asking, am I a vampire? Yeah. Apparently more people search to find out if they're a vampire than search to find out if they are a Virgo or a virgin. Now, to be honest, I've never been told 100% I'm definitely not a vampire, so maybe I should Google this too. Is this how vampires find out they're vampires? Through Google? It used to be by looking in the mirror, but that's so 20th century. What? Alright, next up at number 8, we have a lot of curious men asking, do women fart? Yeah, the other questions there, okay, they're a little bit odd, but I can understand why some guys might Google that if they really don't know. But why are they searching to find out if women fart? They aren't another non-farting species to men. Google has thousands of years of human knowledge just a few searches away, and we're asking it questions like this. Coming in at number 7, we're asking, why does my arm shake and turn red when I eat dirt? Yeah, people's arms seem to shake a lot when they flex. They also seem to hurt after they have the flu shot, but they also seem to shake and turn red when they do that other normal human activity, eating dirt. Now, I'm no doctor, but I think if you're eating large amounts of dirt, you kinda already have your answer as to why your arm is red and shaking. It's your body's way of telling you, please get off the ground, stop eating dirt. We don't eat dirt, we eat food, remember? I'm gonna make your arm shake until you understand that. Now go inside. Next up at number 6, guys, do you ever look at yourself in the mirror and think, what wattage is my microwave? Oh, come on, we all do that, right? Sometimes I struggle to get ready in the morning because I keep catching my reflection and thinking, 1,000 watts or 700 watts? No, no, I don't actually do that. I just see my reflection and that's it. I'm just trying to fit in with the worryingly large amount of people that Googled this. Also, now I really am wondering what wattage my microwave is. Coming in at number 5, if I was to say to you, never put a, you would probably say, wig on a dog, right? Is this a thing? Now, in my experience of meeting dogs, I can imagine that a lot of them don't really like to have a wig put on them. Seems pretty obvious, right? So why are people searching for this so much that we've now reached a point where it is one of the most famous things that humans should never do in life? I can think of a lot more things that humans shouldn't do. Although I haven't actually tried to put a wig on a dog to see what would happen. Maybe I'll try that one day. Alright, moving on to number 4. Who was the first person in the world to fart? Yeah, we're obsessed with farting apparently. Look at the other questions here, guys. They're pretty interesting questions. Who was the first person to get Ebola? To be alive? To die? But right up there in importance, we want to know who was the first person to fart. That way we can all blame that person because they started it, we're just finishing it. Next up at number 3, is it illegal to marry yourself? Now, don't get me wrong, wanting to find out if you can marry your cousin in Canada is also a very disturbing search result, but there are disturbing people in the world, that's a fact. What I find fascinating though is that a lot of people are wanting to find out if they're going to get arrested as soon as they marry themselves. I think if you're considering proposing to yourself, you have a little bit more to worry about than the police. Moving on to number 2 now, pickles are destroying my life. Wow, I had no idea pickles could be so dangerous. If we look at this picture, we can see that people also search to find out if they are gross, if they are cucumbers, or if they are good for you. Are these all interconnected somehow? Do people find out that pickles aren't cucumbers, then they try them to see if they're gross, then they like them, and then they want to find out if they're good for you, and then pickles take over their life and destroy them? Is this the life cycle of a pickle? They need to be stopped. Coming in at number 1, Germany is in what country? Okay. Now this should also go in dumbest Google autocompletes. A lot of people are searching to confirm that Germany is in Europe. Okay, you know what, fair enough question if you don't know Europe that well. But what kind of person is Googling to see what country the country of Germany is in? I really hope it's not Germans.